Hi, IVA. This is the shorter version of a longer video announcement that was already included, and I'm just going to cut it down for time. There's a lot of really fun things coming up. In October, all the things are beginning. Clubs are beginning, after school programs are beginning, athletics, more and more athletics. There's going to be free dress days that we talk about in October, including the dance and all around it. In the month of September, we have no school on Friday, and we're going to do a game of tag on Thursday, the last day of September for us, to celebrate having gotten through. So I'm like rushing through these things. All the other videos says it, but important. One, you can form a club. Any idea that you have, you need an adult sponsor. They pick a day and time. You fill out the Google form that is on the school announcements. I have noticed that Miss Julia has been putting information on the school announcements that's really helpful for students. So this is a really great place for students to talk to each other and ask questions like, what block do we have for advisory this week, or what blocks are today? All those things are on the announcements, or even if you're troubleshooting Aries, there's a guide there on the school announcements. So form a club. There are so many different clubs that can be formed already. I know that sign language club, there's a leadership club, and there's a surfing club, and there's a math club that I've heard of, but I think there are a lot of other clubs from last year that are going to continue. Fill out a Google form to have a club this year. And then the second thing I wanted to say is that our families, 93 families of the 213 families that attend IVA, 93 families have donated and raised over $26,000. This is the very, very last push that I'm making, incentive. If we can get, and it's a lot, it's like a huge amount, but if we can get 20 more families to donate, then we'll have a free dress day on Tuesday. If we can get 5,000 more dollars, that's so much money, we would have a free dress day on Wednesday. And if we get both of those things, we'll have a free dress day on Thursday. So I'll send text messages out to families, but when you go home today, if you're not going home having entered the raffle for these really cute stuffed animals that I actually brought home with me to record these videos, if you are not going home and with your name in the raffle, then please tell your family. So I recorded a video last night or yesterday, and here are the winners. I'm so sorry to just what's that called when you're watching a movie and someone tells you the end? Hermela is one of the winners of the tiny, sweet, sweet, sweet fox, and Sunny, yay! And Sunny, and Aviana, and Layla, and Paxton. And then the winners of these like sweet cushion pillow foxes are Max and Cash and Maxine. And then the winner of the huge extreme fox is Oliver Bryant. So if you want to watch the recording, you can go back and watch it. Okay. I want to be very clear about some of the boundaries on campus that we really haven't outlined specifically, or what the consequences are for them. So this is the very sort of simple infraction consequence stuff at the school. If you have a Chromebook violation, meaning that you're in class and you're doing something that you're not supposed to be doing on your Chromebook, your teacher will say this is a Chromebook violation, and then they will send a note to the office and we'll mark it. And then in the office, we make it so that you lose access to do that thing that you were doing. So if you do not have Chromebook violations in class, your Chromebooks have more access than other students. If there's any graffiti or physical damage on campus, we are going to have people clean up. I want to say thank you to 7th graders. Yesterday, a group of 7th grade guys went and cleaned up the restroom because there was just toilet paper everywhere and paper towels. So thank you so much for cleaning it up. And I'm really grateful for community members who just let us know that something's messy and then help us clean it up. If you're going beyond boundaries, that means on the blacktop you don't go past the basketball courts unless you're playing the game that is approved of. And then inside, there's no hallway or there's no hallway access during break and lunch because we don't have supervision there. So those are going beyond boundaries. If you do that, or you go through the glass doors, which people have been amazing to not do, then it would be a discussion and a family conference about following the boundaries. If you're tardy to class, you'll be making up class time. It's not like after school detention that's like you got to come to office hours, we're going to check in with you and make sure that you're doing well. We need to be on class on time. And then if you have repeat behaviors in class that cause students to not learn well together, there's going to be conferences, including parent supervision at dance and field trips. So those are like the visible things, but we're gonna open up a conversation about restorative practices at IVA. Pardon me. Uh, Restorative practices at IVA. So we know that having very clear expectations creates safety. If you know exactly what the expectation is and what the consequence is, it feels very safe. We also know that every time there's a mistake or a conflict, it is its own context, and the people involved are their own people. Um, so we are very careful to make decisions about discipline in line with our mission, where we ask questions, we listen to sides of the story, we seek to understand, we do not jump to conclusions, and we do not label. Discipline information at school is private. So when there are things like fights, unfortunately, our school community does not get to know what kind of conversations, how those students sat together and talked, how their parents were involved, where they are in the process, what supports are being put in place. So all those things are private discipline information. And that's because of a couple things we believe that every human being has dignity. We also know that people develop over time in relationships when there's trust. And something that we firmly believe is that no one is disposable. So I'm very cautious to not use the term bully when someone is mistreating you, because a bully is someone who does it over and over and over with all these interventions and support and is not stopping. And that takes it to a higher level. And again, that's an internal thing that students don't get invited into, just the family and the student and all the support services around it, including all their teachers. So we're going to open up the conversation about what restorative practices are, why IVA pursues them, how you feel about it. And we also recognize that when we open this conversation, it can create conflict and tension because it's hard to understand things and we might not all be on the same page. And this is exactly why we open the conversations, especially in advisory or especially when we do full school conversations. Sometimes called courageous dialogues, because we want to hear your voice. We want to think well together by asking questions. It's not like personal and we don't have to be angry at each other, but it is hard to hear a perspective that's not your own and to try to understand as a community how we want to behave and treat each other and then sort of process conflict. Okay, so have a wonderful time in advisory. If you want to see the longer version, it's posted on school announcements. Have a good day.